Hey guys, this morning just wanted to go over some AMD stuff and a good deal that I found on some RAM that may improve performance in general without having to learn RAM timings and get all into that because a lot of people want to drag and drop setup for their PCs and say you went to Micro Center and you get a bundle, and a lot of guys do that. They're gonna throw this kit at you, this Ripjaws kit, which is decent. It's not bad. It'll work. I was looking at the timings here, but it's a CL-36, which is okay. And really, if you don't want to tinker too much, 6,000 is probably the sweet spot. But latency, the cast latency makes a big difference and can have some pretty decent gains. So this isn't bad RAM, and it'll work with anything because this is, as you can see, XMP and EXPO ready, which I think that's why Micro Center sells this with all their bundles because it's so versatile. Um, and then you see a lot of people like, in my two rigs that I built, um, I got this, of course, Trident Z5. And if you look here at the voltages and the cast latency, and this is like, I don't know, 119, $120 kind of fluctuates, but it's a CL 30, 38, 3896 at 1.35. I was looking on Amazon today and I found some Z5 Royal, which is the chrome bling bling sticks. But the great thing about this is it's a cast latency, a CL-28, 3636, 96 with 1.4 volts. So this is going to cook in comparison to these two. I mean, this is just a better RAM kit. Now, of course, check your motherboard's QVL for RAM. Now, things have gotten a lot better with that. But if you have either, this Ryzen 7 9800X or the 3D or the 9950X 3D, these can be beneficial for you. Now, you can go with much faster speeds, but the gains are minimal. It's not a huge increase. And a lot of people just want to drag and drop solution. So if you don't want to go crazy playing with RAM timings, you can grab this set and have really tight timings and it drops right in, and you're able to enable this with EXPO easily. So I'm going to crack this kit open and look, years ago, and this is only 32 gigs, it's just for a gaming rig, but years ago, back DDR4 days when everybody was like hunting for Samsung V-Die, I remember paying like $320 for a good set of sticks that had very good cast latency and tight timings and all that good stuff. And nowadays you can get things a lot cheaper. Team Group does have a V-Die set that's pretty decent apparently for Ryzen and works really well. But these have been good to me in the past on some high-end rigs. And if I can get this box open, pop these open, and I'm gonna pop them in the system. And it comes with all this stuff. You get your little card and a wipe down cloth and the obligatory G-Skill sticker, and then the sticks themselves. So with Ryzen, it's a little tricky because unless you know what you're doing with your timing, it's not hard to learn. If you want to learn more about RAM timing and how to set up RAM timing properly, Buildzoid is excellent, but you'll have to take a deep dive and watch a bunch of his videos to really get the gist of it. But it is an attractive looking piece. It should go well in my all black rig. I'm not particularly a fan of the all diamond stuff, but for the budget, this is an excellent uh, set of sticks. There's also settings if you are deciding to go something that is 6400 or a faster speed. The most important thing is making sure for AMD in particular that they're set to a 1-to-1 ratio. That is what can kneecap your performance with AMD. So you got to be a little careful, know what you're doing. But once you get the hang of the RAM timing, it's not that bad. This stuff is fingerprint magnet city. So you do need to wipe it down, and I'm having a really hard time getting this sticker off this backside, but I will get it off. And I would take off those stickers because it's gonna cook on there. These are rather nice sticks, but this is a good cheap way right now, at least. This is a $159 kit. So I saw these on sale on Amazon and I picked them up. So if you just go on there and check it out, should be able to find these in silver. The gold ones I think were like 15 more bucks if you have like a rig that does that, but these I think are a little more universal. My build is basically a all black custom loop, so I'm going to install those. It's going to freak out a little bit and do all its training. Then you go into BIOS and set some settings. I do have some particular settings I will play with after a while, but for as is, I'm just going to set to EXPO or XMP tweaked or whatever you want, or DOCP um, in my Asus BIOS and go from there. But for $159, you get a way better performance than you will out of this kit. Intel is, I think, a bit more flexible with RAM and what you can do with it and timings. And you can get a lot more aggressive and get a lot faster speeds with a bigger gain. And that's maybe one of my pet peeves about Ryzen right now. It has gotten better, especially with the scheduling and some of the core parking issues they've got solved. But going into different games, you can see stuttering and issues, and that's my number one complaint I get out of my Ryzen clients. Where Intel, even though people talk a lot of crap about Intel, um, honestly, it's drag and drop, and like with all the 13th and 14th series builds I did, every game just seems to work and not have any big problems unless the CPU blows up. But I haven't had too much of that problems. The only CPU failures I ever have were on my own system, unfortunately. But it was R made and taken care of. Intel did help me out and warranty my CPU till I think 2030. So the one that I did have fail, I had a 14900K failure. But this is a really good low latency set. For 159 bucks. Back in the day, even on DDR4, you would pay a lot more for these sticks. So I'm gonna pop them in the system and get this thing to post and do a little B-roll of my rig running, and I'll just test this for stability, and we'll check that out. Okay, so back over here in my rig, I have the back door open here because you definitely want to power down your PC. So go ahead and hit the power supply. Just to be safe, and you should do that anyway. And I'm gonna pop my sticks out. And this is the RAM I was running, which nothing wrong with these sticks. I'm gonna pop this into a different rig that I have. And just make sure everything lines up, and then I am gonna wipe these things down when I'm done because these are awful with fingerprints. And I can't see because I'm 100 years old. Oh, and I forgot this has 2 locks on this new board. All the old Asus boards, and I got it the wrong way. All the old Asus boards, only the bottom locks used to be a thing. Okay, just make sure they're good. There's one down. And the 2 and 4 slots. And I'm not really about the looks of this RAM, but in my system, I usually run just a static color. It'll look okay. All right, make sure your locks are all good. Now here's the part. You can turn your PSU back on. Now don't panic. Your PC is not going to want to post, so it's going to go through memory training. Make sure your sticks are seated and good. I'm going to wipe these down because, like I said, these are fingerprint magnets. And this system is a 9950X with a 4090 and the X870E-E motherboard, which has been very good. All right, so your computer's not going to post immediately. If it does, congratulations, but it's not going to. It's going to spaz out, and you're going to have to go to BIOS. So it's going to be at 15, and it's going to stay there for quite a minute. And I've seen people panic, immediately shut their rig off, and just keep going back and forth. But it's going to sit here for a while. I'm going to put these good sticks away for another build. And I have so many of these Rip Jaws kits from Micro Center that I can't count how many I have. So yeah, spazzing out, doing its thing. It's in full unicorn mode. There she goes. They're not terrible looking sticks, but I don't like the glittery looking stuff. So it's trying to go right in the windows, which is fine. But we're going to go back into BIOS. Okay, so you're in BIOS. You've mashed F2 or delete. Asus F2 is going to be the one. So it's showing EXPO enabled already, like it went right where it needed to be. But just go into advanced mode and go AI tweaker. I'm on EXPO tweaked and everything's set. You got 28, 36, 36, and 1.4 volts, which everything looks good. And this is automatically in a 1-to-1 ratio, so you're all good to go. It is only 6,000 speed, but you don't need much more than that. And everything looks good. You hit F10, and it did reset some stuff. Hit OK, and go into Windows, and it should post right up. So this is some easy performance from this G-Skill kit. And like I said, that's what you're looking at timings wise, and make sure you check your QVL to make sure it works with your Ryzen system. But I've seen that this works with this CPU and this CPU with no problem, the Ryzen 7, Ryzen 9, and a bunch of the other CPUs. So back over to my PC. So going after BIOS, of course, it's going to relearn memory again. So it's doing exactly that. It's training back in after you made those settings changes. Even though it was saying it was running at the right speed, I switched it back over, but we went straight to post. It was a lot quicker. And should get me a little bit of a performance bump. Okay, so we're back at the main screen. I'm going to open up hardware info and just take a look at everything, make sure we're all good. This thing's sitting at 5.5 all the way around, running pretty good. Now, I'll watch temps and everything, but this PC runs really cool. And I'm going to open Cinebench and just do some runs and check for stability. And you should know right away if things have gone awry. And I'll keep an eye on temps on my PC. But the only thing I have is a slight undervolt on this. I haven't gone overclocking crazy. I'm more of a fan of overclocking on Intel, to be honest with you. But this runs pretty well right out of the box. So with light settings. Temps look really good. It's in the 50s everywhere. Seems to be smooth. This usually scores around a 43, kind of stockish settings. Yeah, 43069. Pretty much bone stock. And my temps never got over 60 anywhere. So I will check for throttling and just let it run for a little while. And then I'll probably sit and let it just check stability. But this kit should be pretty damn decent. I have zero worries about it working out well. And the latency is going to help out a lot. I have my other 9800 X rig that's behind me with a 5080 that I'm going to donate these RAM sticks to, because this has just some of that cheaper G-Skill in it with that 36 cast latency. So I'll be able to get a lower latency with these other sticks, and it'll dress up the computer with some lights. So, but this looks really stable. I can't get it over 60 degrees. If you look at these here, everything looks gorgeous. And let's see where the clocks are sitting. It jumps around 5 gigahertz. topped out like 5.5, 5.7. Like I said, I don't have any OC on this whatsoever, and everything looks pretty good. So I'll let this run, do its thing for 10 minutes, and keep an eye on everything. And yeah, pretty happy with the results. So yeah, for 159 bucks, this is not a bad kit. 32 gigs with a really good cast latency. It used to be really expensive to get decent cast latency. I'm gonna do the same procedure on my sweaty gamer build. This has a 9800X and a 5080, and the CPU's on liquid, but it's a decent rig. And I still do all you Intel fans, don't worry, I still have my 14900 KS, and I do most of my video editing on with a 4090, and it's been super reliable, and it's sitting at 28C. Honestly, my Intel rigs seem to idle cooler than my AMD rigs, but happy with everything. So yeah, this rig's up and running, in good shape. I stress tested it for 30 minutes. Happy with everything. It's doing really well. And you know, anyway guys, I'm gonna go back to doing my thing. So pick up that kit, decent set of sticks for really fair price, 159 bucks right now on Amazon for some fast RAM. I think maybe they're just cheaper right now because a lot of people don't like the bling bling. But honestly, in this case, it looks really well, and I can't tell the difference if they were black or not because of the color schemes I run. So, yeah, pick a setup. Good job, G-Skill. Decent priced with really good speeds, and it's a drag and drop setup. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Just a quickie, and I'm gonna go stick some colored RAM in there because you can see I have the cheap stuff in this rig. So, from Micro Center. But anyway, guys, have a good one. I'm gonna go back to watching Steve slam this PC, which is pretty hilarious. It's a good video. And go pick up some sticks and throw them in your rig. You don't have to do any work. Drag and drop, set EXPO, and you're done. Take care. Peace.